What's up? I'm your girl RCQ, Oscar Micheaux, and welcome back to Real Cultured, a platform dedicated to movies and pop culture where the conversations are always real. Real talk, real fun, real culture. And now, I'm pleased to introduce you to The Blueprint, a new Real Cultured series that shines a spotlight on pioneering Black filmmakers who paved the way. From Oscar Micheaux's fearless independence, to Spike Lee's bold disruption, to Ava DuVernay's visionary future, and many more. Each episode uncovers the legacy, the battles, and the brilliance that shaped Black storytelling on screen. Subscribe to Real Cultured wherever you listen to podcasts, and join me on this journey through the filmmakers who changed the real world. Picture this. A dusty reel begins to spin. A flicker of light cuts through the darkness. A screen comes to life. Long before Hollywood ever whispered the name Spike or Ava, there was Oscar Micheaux. A Black man with a pen, a camera, and absolutely no permission. A filmmaker who didn't wait for a seat at the table. He built his own. And this story? It's just the beginning. Born in 1884 to formerly enslaved parents, Oscar Micheaux didn't just chase the American dream, he rewrote it. He worked as a Pullman porter, one of the best paying jobs available for Black men at the time. On those long train rides, he met wealthy white patrons and learned how to sell himself, how to tell stories, and how to market ambition. Micheaux later left that job to try homesteading in South Dakota. Imagine it. A Black man in the early 1900s staking a claim in the open plains, often surrounded by white neighbors who resented his presence. The isolation, the racism, the resilience, all of it became fuel for his writing. He turned those experiences into novels, selling copies door to door. And then Hollywood came knocking. A company wanted to adapt his novel, The Homesteader. But when the deal fell through, Micheaux made a radical decision. He raised his own money, produced the film himself, and in 1919, directed The Homesteader. It became the first feature-length film directed by an African American. But Micheaux wasn't satisfied with just making films. He wanted to make films that mattered. In 1915, D.W. Griffith released Birth of a Nation. It was celebrated for its technical innovations, but it was also deeply racist, glorifying the Ku Klux Klan and portraying Black people as villains. In 1920, Micheaux clapped back with Within Our Gates. His film showed lynching, racial violence, and the dignity of Black characters rarely seen on screen. It was a direct rebuttal of Griffith's propaganda. But telling the truth came at a price. Censors banned or heavily edited his work. White theaters refused to show it. Some audiences rioted. Still, Micheaux pressed on, crisscrossing the country with reels in hand, personally arranging screenings in Black communities, churches, and schools. Micheaux was more than a director. He was a one-man studio, a one-man distributor. He built an entire ecosystem just to make sure his stories reached the people who needed them most. Sound familiar?
Hey Real Fam, I hope you're loving the Blueprint series here on Real Cultured. If you are, don't forget to hit that like, follow, or subscribe button wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're feeling extra love, drop us a review. It helps more people discover these stories and join the conversation. But that's not all. Check out other productions from AM Media Productions, like Roots, Routes and Voices That Shape America, a Cincinnati Compass podcast. It highlights immigrant stories across the Cincinnati region, honoring the uniqueness of each journey, the beauty and bravery of becoming, the messiness of culture, and what it truly means to be American. You can find the link to listen, subscribe, and learn more at www.realcultured.com. All right, let's get back to the show.
Throughout the 1920s and 30s, he made over 40 films. His stories tackled colorism, migration, class, crime, interracial relationships, ambition, topics Hollywood wouldn't touch for decades. In Body and Soul, he gave Paul Robeson his first film role before Robeson became an activist, athlete, and global artist. Micheaux didn't just tell stories, he launched movements. Even more, Micheaux created a platform for other Black artists to be cast in leading roles. Here's a later clip of Robeson singing It Ain't Necessarily So, issued in November 1939, now featured in the Paul Robeson collection.
It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so. Little David was small.
The tragedy? Many of Micheaux's films are lost. Fragile reels destroyed by time, neglect, or censorship. But the ones that remain prove his brilliance. Within Our Gates was rediscovered in Spain in the 1970s, restored, and today stands as one of the most important works of early American cinema. It's also one you can watch on streaming services. Micheaux's fingerprints are everywhere. Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing carried his spirit of confrontation. Ava DuVernay's Selma reflected his drive to put Black history at the center. Ryan Coogler's Black Panther carried forward Micheaux's belief that Black heroes belong in the spotlight. But beyond influence, Micheaux's model was ownership. He wrote, directed, produced, and distributed his own work. A century later, Black creators are still fighting for that same control. Where others saw rejection, Micheaux saw opportunity. Where others saw walls, he built doors. He wasn't just the first, he was the blueprint. Oscar Micheaux didn't just make films, he made space. He didn't just tell stories, he told the truth. And today, we're still living in the light he left behind. I'm your real culture queen, Oscar Micheaux. If you enjoyed this brief journey into Oscar Micheaux's legacy, subscribe to Real Cultured and share it with a friend. Leave a review so more people can discover these stories. And don't go anywhere, because next in the blueprint, we're diving into Spike Lee, the bold disruptor who shook Hollywood to its core. I'm your real culture queen, Oscar Micheaux, reminding you to keep it real. Until next time.